How did Doey the Doughman scare the prototype away from the safe haven? After the generator powers down and we hear the prototype lurking outside of safe haven, Doey promises us that he can buy us time to recharge the generator by chasing down the prototype while we do so. So the main question here is how Doey was able to scare the prototype away. In this video, I've gathered two theories to possibly answer this question and maybe even allude to what's to come in chapter 5. So, to start us off, let's go over the events that take place so we can then look for clues on what went down. After defeating the Doctor, we return to the safe haven to reunite with Poppy and Doey. Poppy lets us know that now with the Doctor dead, we should be on high alert for the prototype lurking around. When all of a sudden, the generator powers off and we get a call from Ollie.
Ollie? You there? He's outside! Ollie? He's outside! Who? You need to distract him, Doey. Please, keep him away from here.
Without the generator.
I know, but he can't get in here. Not now. Just buy us some time.
Being told to buy some time, Doey runs off to scare away the prototype. We then go around solving two different puzzles to fix the generator back to being functional. But right as we're on our way back to the safe haven, Doey catches up to us, letting us know that he lost track of the prototype.
I lost track of him in the tunnels. Have you seen him? Was he at the Foundation? Or was he...
Although the safe haven proceeds to blow up, that's not what we're here for. How exactly did Doey the Doughman scare away the prototype of all people? The prototype is known to be the strongest, smartest, and fastest thing in the entire Playtime factory. He's the one thing that every toy either fears or bows down to, considering that nobody can compete with him. However, Doey manages to go head to head against this guy and not only survive, but chase the prototype away? How did this happen in the first place? Well, for our first theory, what if Doey truly is stronger than the prototype? We faced Doey the Doughman ourselves, and we know that he has this monster-like form that he turns into when he's truly angry. For example, when he does see the safe haven destroyed and blames us, a heap of rocks falls down on him, revealing him to be this monstrous, unstoppable form of Doey the Doughman. This could be the same form that Doey used to chase down the prototype, and it'd be somewhat reasonable to think that this form of Doey would be able to take the prototype in a fight, since we know that the only way that we were able to defeat him was by hardening him using these air tanks, which I'm not sure the prototype would have on hand, therefore forcing him to fight a giant mass of goo, which is kind of impossible to win. The only issue many people have with this theory is that we aren't sure if Doey can turn into this form whenever he wants. Again, the only time that we ever see this form is when a pile of rocks fall onto him, which could just mean that the injury from the rubble caused him to look like this. But that issue might actually have a resolution, because this actually isn't the only scene we get where Doey is in this form. We actually see this form over 2 hours earlier when we first meet him. Right as Pianosaurus is attacking us, we see the same arms from Doey's monster form reach out to kill him. These are clearly different from the arms we usually see Doey with, which indicates that he turned into this monstrous form to deal with a threat like Pianosaurus, showing that this is something that he can do on command, kind of like the Hulk in some way. Therefore, it's not too much of a reach to assume that he turned into this form to deal with something much bigger like the prototype. I mean, if he did so for Pianosaurus, you best believe he did the same for the strongest toy in the factory. Speaking of it, is the prototype even the strongest monster in the factory? Well, let's move on to our second theory as to how this happened. Let's assume the prototype is weak, and he planned this entire thing just to kill Doey the Doughman. Now, what do I mean when I say that the prototype is weak? I mean, if the prototype was strong enough, he would have killed us in the previous encounters we've had with him. But instead, as the chapters have gone on, he's just been watching us weaken other toys for him to swoop in and pick them up, almost as if he's building himself a body, like the one we saw in chapter 3, with a shrine of a bunch of toys put together. If the prototype was truly weak, then a huge glob-like monster charging at him would scare him away, which could be the answer that we're looking for. It's clear if this was the answer that the prototype had this all planned from the very beginning. He knows he can't kill Doey. To do that, he would need those gas tanks we ended up using, but he spent his time collecting our explosives instead. The prototype knew if he could escape Doey and lead him far enough away from the safe haven, that would buy the prototype just enough time to plant the bombs in the safe haven. Why did he need the safe haven exploded though? Why not take the time to kill us instead? Well, that's because he thought of everything. Because the prototype may not be the strongest or the fastest monster, but he definitely is the smartest. He used Ollie's voice to let us know of his presence because he needed to scare us into a mode of panic, frantically running everywhere to fix the generator so that the safe haven would be safe. But the biggest threat to the safe haven was still lurking around, so Doey ran after him, leaving the safe haven completely unprotected. Perfect for the prototype to run in and do his thing. All to get Doey angry at the one person who came in and messed things up, the player. The prototype knew he couldn't kill Doey as his current state, but us? We were the test subject that could take down this gooey monster. We had everything we needed. I think the answer to our question, how did Doey the Doughman scare away the prototype, is hidden in the question itself. He didn't. It was all a part of the prototype's plan. I think that there's a high possibility that when we do finally see the prototype, the countless enemies we've taken down, now put together into a horrendous amalgamation of a toy, are going to be glued together by none other than Doey the Doughman's remains. Now let's go over the two theories we have and evaluate which one is most likely true. Because honestly, looking back, it's actually possible that they're both true at the same time. Now Doey is insanely strong in this monster form, and I definitely think it'd be at least a challenge for the prototype. And on top of this, just the fact that Ollie let us know that the prototype was near shows that the prototype had at least somewhat of a plan surrounding this entire thing. If this is the case, we can only hope that we are able to somehow defeat the prototype, knowing he's combined with the strongest toy we've faced yet. But let me know what you think is the true answer to that question. Was Doey truly stronger, or was the prototype planning this all along? Let me know down in the comments, and while you're down there, why not subscribe? Also, watch this video where I explain the downfall and drama behind Poppy Playtime Chapter 4.